Hello and welcome to my channel Butterfly Child Tarot, where we allow the inner child to light the way with the divine support, guidance, strength, and integration that is brought by the divine parents within us, the divine masculine and feminine. And we do not leave not one divine opportunity for transformation on the table here. That is my ethos. That is how I want to show up to the collective. That is my way of service. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you first and foremost, those that have been riding with me from the very early parts of my journey, and those of you guys that are jumping on now. I had a specific caliber, and I'm not going to lie about what I considered to be successful on this platform. And it was only just recently that I realized that I already got it. You guys resonate with me, you support me, you receive, you see the divine value in what it is that is coming through me, and that's all I can ask for. So thank you. I do this for you, and I do this for myself. Not gonna lie, it feels good to channel my gifts in this way. I feel like I'm in my purpose, and there's no better feeling of feeling like you're in your purpose. So for those that resonate with this in the future, or those that find this channel, find us, we welcome you with open arms. If you're new, welcome. Allow this channel to serve as a supplementary support to your integration, to your ascension, and to your journey. And with that being said, this begins the new series of collective reading videos that I'm doing called The Professor and the Protégé. This name came from my best friend Peter, and it came surrounding a bunch of downloads that I was getting already. And he sort of like hit that on the head, and I felt immediately that it needed to be a series. But we are simultaneously the Professor and the Protégé. And just to be a little vulnerable with you guys, lately I have been struggling to receive everything that I've worked hard for because of the shame or because of the guilt that I've carried from the past, from things that I've done and ways that I've been when I was unconscious. And it's not really fair, because my soul has trained lifetime after lifetime to be ready for this lifetime. And even in my unconscious, I understood the assignment. So stepping into this perspective of Professor and Protégé really helped me to troubleshoot my perspective and the way I saw myself at this time. Because believe it or not, the devil will come in and take your weaknesses, take your distortions, and use those as a place of power over you. That devil energy needs a way to keep you from remembering your I am truth, which is your eternal truth, which is you waking up to who you are, connected to source, your own flow of connection that is divinely driven and orchestrated. And if you're guided to me, that is your path. Do not doubt, do not fear. It is such a blessed path. The paradigm of division when it comes to sign reading serves us at times, because we need to compartmentalize things and understand how or where to receive collective readings. And sometimes we believe it a little further when we know that our sun sign is Libra, and we can go to a Libra reading and receive what they have to say. That serves us when it comes to certain levels of our awakening and in certain energies at certain points in our lives. But this kind of collective reading is meant to serve those that are really, in the process of awakening your gifts. You have been conscious for some time, whatever that means for you, and you just feel resonant with me. What am I missing here? I think I've covered all our bases. So we are all the Professor and Protégé simultaneously. Even in our unconscious, we were teachers and we were learners in every experience to bring you to where you are today. And the way you affected people has brought them where they are today, regardless if they still hold you accountable for that. What we're doing is we're really taking a look at this perspective and shining a light on it in a way that brings a higher awareness. So without further ado, let's get into it. Please take please take the reading as it resonates and allow your own intuition to be the bedrock of your receiving. It's vital that you do so. I can't stress that enough. Your own synchronicities, your own expansions, your own downloads, allow them to be the main source and everything else to be gravy, everything else to be expansive, everything else to kind of serve as food for thought, to kind of add to that and build on it and bring you further into that frequency. All right, so guides, angels, ancestors, ascended masters, beings of light and love only. Sophia Dragon Tribe, we call upon you at this time. Allow us to tune into the collective. How are we showing up as the professor at this time? Archangel Michael, please protect against any distorting energies and or intentions. Escort these energies to a place of evolution or dissolution or the womb of creation now. Allow everyone who's receiving and myself to be covered in a bubble of white light so the messages may be delivered and received as divinely intended. We are so very blessed and thankful. I'm getting for many of you guys, you know, and this is interesting because I'm feeling into a lot of masculines, whether you're male or female, it doesn't really matter, that have experienced some shame in naturally flowing emotionally. There's something about, I'm getting that a lot of you guys have judged yourself for being naive or too forgiving in the past, especially with this Knight of Cups here. This is the kind of card I want to focus on first. Romantic, flirtatious, introspective, fickle, falling in love, being swept off your feet, a sudden love affair, a lack of balance in a relationship, situations, or topics that make your heart flutter, a love of art and poetry. So there's this kind of lofty, interesting energy of like the masculine embodying the feminine in a way, but also like in your past as a child being way too forgiving, being way too gullible. You feel like your ego mind is trying to protect you now because you are holding this kind of judgment about yourself, but you've taught others in this that it's safe. Is that right, Spirit? That it's safe to be in this energy. It's safe to be vulnerable. It's safe to offer emotionally intelligent insight and wisdom. It's okay to be soft, right? I think you've actually learned the opposite in this, but we're talking about the teacher at this time. Where were you showing up as a professor? Where were we showing up as a professor? We also have the Page of Wands, being the first on the scene, being the first willing to try something new, being the first to like pave a way. We have enthusiastic, optimistic, creative, and patient. News of exciting opportunities, allowing your creativity to soar. Do things that fuel your passion. Finish what you start. So your perspective is kind of a little bit wonky here, okay? Because, you know, it's not usually the professor that is needing understanding when it comes to perspective. It's usually the protege. It's how you learn from yourself. Like I said, we're simultaneously the professor and the protege. So you being in that energy, you were able to deliver the teachings, whether you were conscious about it or not, about living in a place of emotional flow, strength in that respect of allowing yourself to see the true nature or the love in someone. I'm looking at this waterfall here, and it's like cleansing. It's like you're seeing this. You're used to seeing people all cleansed, and I feel like we are in a place where we're experiencing right now this apprehension to really embody that further. I heard to bring the knight into the king position. Are we bypassing the queen, Spirit? bringing the Knight of Water into the Queen of Water, the Queen of Cups position. Okay, I just heard the King and the Queen are one. So bringing it into that royal position, bringing that cup and that water energy into that royal position, regardless of your gender. And it's like this feeling of like you're attributing your failures or your heartbreaks or your painful experiences to you showing up in this way. It's like you're doing a diagnostics on your own personality and your own self and how you show up in the world, and what is coming up as problem or as the problems are not really what the problems are. What else do we need to know about the teacher here? What do we need to know about the professor at this time, Spirit? Thank you. Yeah, the 10 of Wands. You've been carrying a lot of this. So many of us, and this is so, I love this because this is expensive for me too. But so many of us have been promised, not promised, Spirit is making fun of me for saying that. So many of us have been shown that the path that we're on is leading towards abundance and so many beautiful things that we all desire. And then we have doubt because we just don't understand why, because we're still operating in two different realities. We're trying to, it's like you were not built for the world as it is. You are built for the world that is to come, that is to be grounded in, that is to form. You are built for something different. And your impact and the things that you have gone through have only served you to strengthen that soul, to show you how to be that in the face of anything else, like Jesus, how to turn the other cheek. That's what that really means. It means your hurt and your reaction to me, or the pain that you inflict on me, is not going to change my heart. It's not going to change the way I show up with my heart. It's not going to cause me to carry all of these grievances and edits to my personality and to the way I show up in the world, to the point where everything feels cumbersome. Everything feels like a chore. Everything feels like it's so hard. Why? Because you're limiting your authenticity, and part of you is not letting, you're in resistance to your own experience, to your own showing up, right? Working too hard, too many hours, the need for balance. Let other people help you. Wow. Okay, so the professor is also showing up in your experience in your hardship right now, in the present is what I'm hearing. In your hardship, in where you are struggling right now, and where you like to make everything seem like it's glitter and gold, and it's not glitter and gold. You're struggling. Things are not easy for you. We need to really get out of the vibe in spiritual culture where it's all about empowerment, right? You go on TikTok, Instagram, you look at all the shorts, and it's all about, I'm a bad bitch and I don't need this, and I'm going this way, you're going that way. I even do some of them, and they are empowering. However, where are we showing up vulnerable? Where are we showing up in a vulnerable sense? Where are we allowing ourselves to be in that light? Where are we not asking for help? Where are we, not being real, like I am in this video where I'm saying, listen, this is where I'm struggling. I know I'm very gifted. I've worked very hard to get to where I am, but I do sometimes feel a sense of entitlement, and I do feel a sense of frustration when I'm like, man, I'm working so hard. Why can't this go the way I want it to? And Spirit turns back to me and is like, your professor needs to ask your protege, what is it that you're not understanding about the assignment? The assignment is not to conform. The assignment is not to chase. The assignment is not to allow the material world as it is to convince you that what you're receiving is bullshit. Your professor is showing up to show you that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to be vulnerable. You were like this as a child. You were sensitive. Your natural inclinations came through. And like the ethos of my channel, allowing the inner child to light the way. I'm hearing some of you guys like were raised in a lot of chaos. I was gonna say a little bit, but a lot of chaos. You don't really understand the gravity of how this has affected you yet, but you will. The ego's a tricky thing. Spirit came through me. It's not me. I just heard that, so I just said it. The ego is a tricky thing. It will come in and it'll try to form and mold to what it is that you're expanding into. Make you believe that you're not operating an ego, but you are. The Ace of Cups. A beautiful new emotional experience, a romantic relationship or deep friendship, awakening of psychic abilities and spiritual insights, a love letter, a new home. There's a lot of teaching being brought in by the professor around love, around unconditional love, refilling your cup, what that means. Allowing your heart to lead you, allowing your heart to guide you. And it's interesting because it's like we're showing up in a way that we teach others how to embody that. But we don't allow ourselves to embody that. We allow ourselves to stay in this Ten of Wands position. Overwhelmed, frustrated, tired. You may not even be in need to ask for help, is what I'm hearing. It's also like just showing up in the world and being like, hey, this is what I'm dealing with. This is what I'm going through. And not having all of those preconceived notions of, when I show up in this way, I tend to be effed over, or I put myself in a vulnerable position, or I'm showing my soft underbelly. Let's get some clarification with tarot. And that deck that I've been using is the Angel Wisdom Tarot by Rayleigh Valentine. Guides, angels, ancestors, ascended masters, beings of love and light. Again, can we get some clarity here? We're going to get into how this is specifically showing up in your life as well. Where are we feeling like afraid that we're not going to be able to hold, carry, I heard bring to term, what we are wanting? It's easy to have something or someone or whatever to blame about why you are not where you want to be, or why you don't go after what it is that you desire. If you dug a little deeper, would you find in your subconscious that it is you? Would you find that you are the one that is preventing yourself from receiving, holding? Because you're judging in shame, in fear, in resentment, your past. But my darlings, we've moved on from that. We've learned from that. Our protege has done its job and learned and took notes. There's a reason he's the protege and not just the student. There's a reason she's the protege and not just the student. We also have the Ace of Cups in the reverse. That water, that emotion, that whatever icky stuff is being held in the heart from that needs to be let go. The professor did its job. The professor understood the assignment, but the protege comes into the picture later on. That's a new expansion for myself. For when the professor is able to look in the mirror and see the protege, it's able to understand what really happened. Knowing thyself is not just remembering everything that happened in past lives. That's not even the first and foremost important thing that is needed to understand the I am truth, the truth of who you are, the deepest truth. The biggest part is in this life. Being able to put things in its right frame. Understanding why things happened. You could have even killed someone. And I don't condone it, obviously. But who are you to say that your soul, and that's not excusing everything, because sometimes people go off the rails with their karma. But I know who's being drawn to my readings, and I'm saying this with confidence. Who's to say that you not only were assigned to teach yourself a lesson in that, but to teach a lesson to those affected? Who's to know that you didn't have a deal with that soul in the ethers before you guys incarnated? Who's to say? Who's to say that after you were incarnated, your higher selves weren't meeting up and saying, hey, this is what you need to experience. This is what my person needs to experience, or my human needs to experience. Let's bring them together for this to happen. So let go of the grief, let go of the pain, let go of the resentment. It's okay to let it go. Because as you let this go, you are given a pure cup, a beginning that you can run off with and you can run forward with. Your heart was always Christed. That's what I heard. Your heart was always Christed. Purify it. I heard baptize it. We are guiding you. We will show you the way. All of that was not of your world. You do not see the truth as you should yet, but you will. Pisces energy. We are in Pisces season. Everything comes in divine time. Everything. How are we showing up as the protege here today? How are we showing up as the protege? Where is our protege at in its understanding of what the professor is teaching? Where is our protege at in its understanding of what the professor is teaching? Thank you, Divine. Yeah, you're definitely ready to go full steam ahead, that's for sure. We have motivational, inspiring, theatrical, ambitious, take a leadership role, step into the spotlight, public speaking, keeping your eye on the big picture, communicate your vision. Don't be sensitive to criticism. I definitely feel there's this defensive energy that we're coming into as a collective. This energy of like not being affected. But are we telling the truth? Are we not being affected? It's like you want to be a vessel that is impenetrable. You want to go forth in life and feel strong and not affected. The things in the past don't affect you, but you're lying to yourself. We're lying to ourselves. It does affect us. Things do hurt us. What's happening in the world it hurts us. Yes? An amazing opportunity. Be bold, courageous, and optimistic. Now is the time to take action. Do what you're passionate about. I definitely feel like some of you guys are dragging your feet, a little confused, or you've been trying to make this thing come into reality, but you don't understand why it's not. And that's because you're holding back parts of yourself. Your protege is not fully understanding the assignment at this time. And this is where the most of the divine support and help is going to come in this reading, because we got the perspective on what the teacher was really doing, and we can give ourselves grace for things that we've judged ourselves for. An unwise choice. There's a better way that will make you happier. Avoid people who lack integrity or who have questionable motives. So another thing is, like, we surround ourselves with the people we think we deserve. Yes? So for many of us, it's this energy of feeling like, who am I? Who am I to want something better than this? Who am I to want to remove myself from this group of people? Who am I to want a better romantic relationship than the one I have? After what I've done in my past, or after what I've been through, after what I've done to this person, your soul is calling you in a different direction, but you're trying to bring the two worlds into the same universe, and that's just not how this kind of stuff works. And this is a mental thing. Knight of Pentacles. But you're definitely dedicated. Your protege, the protege within you, is dedicated to seeing this through. And you are seeing evidence of things coming together the way you desire. And you are, like, planning ahead. But it doesn't change the fact that when it comes to your ego mind and your mental, you're still in pain. You're still hurting. You still need healing. Because the parts of yourself that are still asking to be healed are the parts of you that are feeling undeserving, unworthy. And Spirit is showing up for you. Spirit is showing you, you belong here with us. And the protege is getting there. The protege is getting there. The teacher, the professor hasn't skipped a beat, but the protege is over here stumbling. But I will validate. Yes, big things, big changes, big, beautiful, amazing things are coming to you. But your protege has to get you there. Your protege is the one that has to get there. We get some clarity on where the protege is at in receiving what the professor is offering. Can we get some more clarity here? It's like you almost are afraid to feel good. Yeah, we have the 10 of Cups in the reverse. I'm getting with this card, it's like a false sense of fulfillment. Be honest with yourselves. Question yourselves. You receive and you absorb and you soak in the moments of divine revelation. But then you go right back to your lives. And even though you still carry that awareness with you, it's still mixed in with some distortion around what you deserve. It's not about believing whether or not the blessings are coming through. It's about believing whether or not you are deserving of it. Questioning, am I really part of this pool of individuals that are blessed and are waking up? You believe that that's true. You watch readers on YouTube and you believe that they are part of something big, and you want to believe that you're a part of that too, and you are. But you doubt it. Why? So you move forward, calculated, not really fully taking a risk, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, still carrying onto the baggage that has no business going where you're going. And this baggage isn't as simple as heartbreak, trauma, and pain. This baggage is about programming. It's about you misunderstanding yourself. When you do not know who you are, if you were born a prince to be a king, or a princess to be a queen, and you do not know this of yourself, you'll live a simple life. But you will not touch the crown that is yours and always has been. It is your birthright to claim. It does not make you egotistical. It does not make you convoluted. It does not make you self-centered. These are daggers thrown by the devil himself. You are not better than any other, but you have an assignment. And your assignment requires you to think outside of the box. Protégé. The assignment was stumble your way through your karma with all of the experience at your back of all the lives you've lived that have seasoned you to be perfectly qualified to be successful in this path that has been set before you. The mission, the goal, Protégé, is to remember who you are. Not every little thing that you've done in every other past life, but remember how you were meant to affect people, how you were meant to learn through your experiences, how you designed everything to happen for you. And the distortion comes in when you feel like it's happened to you. When the matrix will make you believe that it is the ways in which you show up that cause you to be deserving of certain treatment, or certain traumas or certain things, that then causes your ego mind to want to navigate you and say, hey, if you're going to make that leap, you're going to measure the depth, you're going to look down, you're going to practice jumping for about 20 days, and then you can make the leap. And the divine is saying, no, that's not how this works. Because faith is a part of the equation, Protégé. Am I making sense? Do you understand? For the only time that you allow your heart to sing is when it is pushed to its limits. And you've kept this night back, this Knight of Cups. You've said, don't you go out over there. Don't you take our cups and bring them anywhere. Because it's just going to be stomped on and shit all over. Don't. That's what the ego mind tells you. But if I come forward with my heart open, And if I come forward in faith, knowing that the sun is at my back, knowing that I shine in the light of the divine, I don't have to be wary about moving forth with my cup of goodness. I can move forward and move through life in this way. I don't have to move in silence. I don't have to live an experience that's isolating, always to myself. For the professor sends individuals to come and confuse you. Beings, demons, your own shadow, to try and hit you in all your weak points so that you do remember who you are. The professor is telling the protege, you are the professor. And the protege is telling the professor, you are the protege. I'm not quite sure how that makes sense, but that's what I heard. For when we are defensive, we do not only protect ourselves from the bad, but we protect ourselves from the good too. Perhaps it's time to let your guard down, knowing you're protected, not being reckless. And, self-protection is a matter of self-love. But when we are overly protective and we clench, it defeats its own purpose. For you are strong. And it's time for you to free yourself of your entrapments, of the mind. They're showing me the star upside down on the devil's head. If you flip it right side up, this is the devil trying to take your star quality and distort it, turn it upside down, make you feel like you're not worthy of it, make you struggle in embodying it. But you were never meant to struggle in embodying it, because your star quality comes through and is escorted, I'm hearing, is escorted by the Knight of Cups, is escorted by your authenticity, is escorted by your true and free desire to express freely. We have a double Knight of Cups. The professor and the protege. Again, romantic flirtations, introspective, fickle, falling in love, being swept off your feet. I heard being swept off your feet by life. You don't allow yourself to because you're doubtful. I heard that you're going to be punished for some karma, that some other shoe's going to fall, that being this way only hurt you in the past. So you'd rather stay this way. Come any closer and I'll burn your ass. But this is my fire. At least your spiritual flame is lit. It took you a while to get there, didn't it? But now it's here. This is what you're meant to do. This is what you're meant to embody, protege. This is what we are meant to embody. It does not show weakness, or it does not display weakness to allow the heart to lead. Ask yourself, pull your own cards. Where have I prevented my heart from leading? Where do I replace that with animalistic desires, with the fire in the mind, the fire in the mental, the belly, the desire, the whatever instigates your action, whatever energy is instigating action, and then your thoughts. Those have been running the show, those two. Bringing this into the picture is going to get you a lot closer to what it is that you've been, I was going to say promised, but I'm not going to say it, what you've been shown. I'm so happy I did this series. I'm going to pull a postcard from Spirit to wrap it up. I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think in the comment section, okay? Guides, angels, ancestors, thank you so much. Dearest you, did you ever wonder whether your ideas and inspiration might be coming through your soul rather than generated from your mind alone? We are here to tell you that we are always whispering in your ear about your highest good. We are conduits for Spirit, letting you know that you are a living channel for this awesome co-creative energy. When you're feeling inspired, it means you heard us. Inspiration means Spirit is breathing through you. Inspiration needs your human passion to keep it going so you can make a difference in the world. So keep moving on what inspires you. Let yourself be led into new experiences and know what this is. Let yourself be led into new experiences and know that this is why you are on the earth. Your purpose is to discover your spirited nature and bring it forth through your efforts, whatever it is meant to be. Wondrous miracles have a way of showing up when you let inspiration propel you forward. So allowing this fire to be guided, right? This is what your protege is struggling to receive and is downloading right now. The fire in your belly, that feeling of being moved where you belong, feeling like you have to take action, right? And taking that and allowing that inspiration to be led. Your inspiration is nothing without the passion that is brought inside of the heart. The inspiration is the spark. The passion is the flame. I'm feeling all types of yummy and validated by this reading myself. So thank you guys again. Don't forget to comment. I really want to hear what you guys have to say. And don't forget to subscribe. Click that bell icon if you haven't already. If you're interested in a 20-minute video reading, that information is in the description box, or a one-on-one session, that information is also in the description box. And I'll see you guys in the next video.